Alright, so today I want to speak with you about divine diversions. Divine diversion is something that God places in your life to make you go from the track you're in into a different track towards Him. So 3 years ago today, my fourth child was born. The way he came into my life was definitely a divine diversion. During the time before he arrived, I was totally away from God in many different ways. The day he arrived, I was still away from God in many ways. But the way he arrived was a way that made me have to commit to life instead of the way I was living. By that I mean, many of you know that my son was born and he had some brain defects that caused him to have disabilities. The way I was living before he got here was, like I see a lot of people living. I was very materialistic. I was trapped in what's on TV, what's cool, what's new, what movie's showing this weekend, and I was caught up in my own routine. If I have to watch this tonight, I have to do this every day, I have to do that every day. And with him coming into the world the way he did with his disabilities, I had to make decisions to stop doing the things I was doing and focus all of my attention on him. My wife and I had to go through many training sessions to learn how to do certain things with him with his disabilities. The CPR, we had to learn how to put feeding tubes in his belly. I was administering all kinds of medications daily. So I had to stop my routine and get used to his routine in order for him to, grow. So I call that a divine diversion because during that time I had a lot of time to think, and I really started to see God in a lot of things. More example of a divine diversion is, the day that baby Dwight came, I heard God. I heard God. That's a whole other story in itself. The next day, I picked up a copy of Our Daily Bread that was there in the hospital. And I hadn't read Our Daily Bread in years. Like I said, I was very far away from God. But when I read the Daily Bread from the day before that, which would have been the day Dwight was born, here's the Daily Bread I got. This is from February 9, 2013. The title is Divine Diversions. And it goes like this. It's written by Joe Stowell. It says, I tend to get stuck in my ways, so anything that diverts me from my routines and plans can be very annoying. Worse yet, life's diversions are sometimes unsettling and painful. But God, who said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways, knows that He often needs to divert us in order to make more of our lives than we would have if we had stuck to our original plans. Think of Joseph. God diverted him to Egypt to prepare him to rescue God's chosen people from starvation. Or of Moses, who was diverted from the luxurious lifestyle of Pharaoh's house to meet God in the wilderness in preparation to lead God's people toward the promised land. Or of Joseph and Mary, to whom the angel announced the most significant diversion of all. Mary would be with child, and this child would be called Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Joseph believed in the bigger purpose that God had for him, surrendered to the diversion, and obediently called his name Jesus. The rest is wonderful history. We can trust God's greater plans as He does His far better work in the history of our lives. As those examples of people in the Bible, they were taken from one place to another, I can say that I was taken from a very dark place to learning about God's grace, God's love, and learning how to share that with others. Divine diversion, I've seen them come in many different ways. It can be a death in the family. It can be finding yourself in jail. It can be losing a friend to drug abuse. It can be a friend witnessing any of these things happening in anybody's lives. Losing a job could be a divine diversion. So many things could be a divine diversion. Is there a divine diversion in your life today that God is calling you through? Is He taking you from darkness to light? God is calling you, and it could be through a diversion. Thank you. Have a nice day.